8 years ago, I learned how to ride motorcycles, and since then I have strapped action cameras on every single helmet I've ever owned. So in this video, I'm going to talk about my opinions between the differences of the GoPro Hero 12 Black and the brand new DJI Osmo Action 4 camera. First things first, both of these cameras can film in 4K, 1080p, 2.7K. The GoPro does film a little over 5.2 or 5.7K, I can't remember. For the context of this video, I'm gonna let you guys know I don't ever film in that high of resolution because I'm just riding motorcycles, not filming beautiful cinematic content for you. There are a few key things I'm gonna be talking about in this video, and that is going to be the ease of use, reliability, and of course, audio and visual quality. Other than that, I don't really use action cameras for all that much. Both of these cameras are waterproof if you make sure all the doors are closed. Both of these cameras can film time-lapse content. Both of these cameras can do almost exactly the same thing. So we're gonna focus on some of the easier stuff in this video. I'm gonna go ahead and preface, I personally don't think one of these cameras are better than the other, but I definitely want to tell you about some of the differences in between the two that might help sway your decision if you're thinking of buying these. First things first, the GoPro. The GoPro has always come with these little feet. I don't know if you can see it very well. These little feet are the bane of my existence, but that does make multiple cameras like this universal. 90% of the time, if you are wanting to film with any kind of microphone, you're gonna have to put this camera in the GoPro Media Mod. This is the GoPro Media Mod. I hate this thing with a passion, and I'm gonna show you why right now. When you want to put your camera in the Media Mod, you have to make sure the legs are folded up. So I have to put the legs up. I have to take off the side door that exposes my memory card and battery. Big no, no thank you GoPro, big no thanks, I don't like that. So all of that's off, and then slide it in, latch it shut, and then I can pull my little feet out. There are ports here on the back that you can plug in USB-C, your headphone jack, and some other jacks up here. For any given purpose, when I have this camera on my helmet, if I want to, I can't just plug my camera into my computer and get my footage off of it. I have to manually take the SD card out of the camera. So when it's on my helmet, I have to open the Media Mod and I can't pull it out because these little feet are stuck inside of the bottom of the Media Mod. So that right there is a giant headache. There are ways around it. There are aftermarket parts you can buy from GoPro, but I'm gonna switch over and talk about the DJI Osmo. This camera, first of all, battery and SD card are on one completely separate side. I never have to open this port to access the USB-C port here on the side. This allows me to charge my camera, this allows me to dump the footage from my camera, and it allows me to access microphone inputs, all without having to mess with the door that contains my battery and my SD card. So check one for DJI. Now I think probably my favorite thing about this camera is this little piece right here. This is a DJI specific magnetic adapter. Hooks on just like that, and this thing is rock solid. So now if I have this stuck to my helmet, I don't have to completely unscrew the bottom of it to take it off. All I have to do is grab this little piece and it detaches. So this right here is an absolute game changer. And you also can mount this vertically if you like to shoot in Reels format or YouTube Shorts, stuff like that. It attaches vertically, but unfortunately you have to have the protective case for that to happen. So similar to the Media Mod, this is the protective case for the DJI. But it does not allow much, you don't have to have it on. Like I never use this. It's just an extra little bumper. So now I have the case on and I can mount the magnetic horizontally or vertically. Just like that. Now on to probably the most important topic in this video, and that is audio and visual quality. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know I have looked at some of the footage I've captured with these cameras, and I'm actually really surprised that I think the things that I think after seeing this content. All right, well, both of these cameras, I'm going to test the audio right now. I'm gonna set you guys on my truck, this is the in-camera audio. I'm gonna do the GoPro Hero 12 first, see how that audio sounds, and then I'm switching over to the DJI Osmo Action 4, seeing how that audio sounds. I'm trying not to touch either of these cameras. I'm gonna back away a little bit. I am projecting my voice a little bit, but not too much. So can't wait to see how these cameras do back and forth. Now I think it's time to test out a little bit of wind noise. So the good thing about the DJI Osmo Action 4 is you can control the wind noise. I don't really know if it makes a huge difference, but I kind of like that you have that control. And then over here on the GoPro, this is what it is. You get the audio that happens in this camera. I used to really love the quality of GoPro. I think it captures skin tones very great. I also thought it had wonderful automatic depth of field and color balance. But now that I'm looking at some of this footage side by side with the DJI cameras, I think I can confidently say I am much more preferring the image quality on the DJI over the image quality on the GoPro. Hey, editing Jess here. I can't believe I'm editing this video right now and I completely forgot to mention the low light filming of this camera. The DJI Osmo Action 4 has a much larger sensor and it has been a night and day difference reviewing the footage between the GoPro and the DJI. When I was filming Jordan in his garage, it wasn't even low light. It was actually a very well lit garage, but the DJI had an amazing time filming what he was working on, and the GoPro was super muddy. It was very pixelated, very grainy in the shadows, and it's something that I've never really paid that much attention to because I haven't had anything to directly compare it against. So I wanted to throw that in there because that made a big difference, and I can't wait to go out and ride at nighttime with this DJI. It's gonna be a whole new experience. Okay, back to the video. And one thing I do want to talk about in this video is, again, in the realm of reels and short form content, GoPro now has a feature on their 12 Hero Black that you can film in vertical format without rotating your camera. At first I was like, that's a great idea. I love that because physically moving your camera is kind of a pain in the butt. But now that I've been filming with the Osmo Action 4, I've noticed that that shot is just significantly wider as a whole. So I don't even need to switch a setting on the camera to film in vertical. All I have to do is crop it. So that's super easy for me. I can film one solid video and get multiple forms of content out of that specific shot. The less I have to move all of these little settings around in the cameras, the better. So let's get into the Moto vlog section of this video.
I do have to adjust the gain on the audio on this camera very drastically every single time I use a different mic adapter. On this mic adapter, I've done a little bit of testing and I have to drop the gain, or I have to up the gain actually, to positive 10 or 12, just so it can hear my voice. So this is what the mic sounds like, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the GoPro Hero 12. All right, now we have the GoPro, and as you can see, it is just significantly larger and bulkier, but I have a very strong feeling the audio probably sounds better. Let's go see what it sounds like while riding. So the thing that I always have loved and hated about the GoPros is the audio quality, but not so much the audio reliability. And that's just the risk you take when you film with audio directly in camera. Now you can use a third-party audio recording system, but to me that is just way too many extra steps, way too much stuff to carry and make sure that stays charged. When I do things in camera, it makes things so much easier to film and just remember where things line up. And for me, I'm a very lazy video editor, so the less steps I can take out of video editing, the better. So leave a comment down below. Let me know which audio setting you prefer on these cameras, the mic adapter DJI one or the GoPro with the giant media mod kit. So I think what I'm gonna do next, this bike shakes like a leaf. It is very obnoxious, and I think I'm going to test out the side-by-side camera quality with image stabilization. Now, all of these cameras are going to have amazing image stabilization, but I just want to see what it looks like side by side.
ways, I still think the GoPro has the best internal audio quality, while moto vlogging, it's just not as reliable. But I'm very frustrated with how much I have to manually adjust the internal audio settings when I attach a microphone to the DJI. Now, if you are just using this camera as a safety precaution or you're not plugging in a microphone, I definitely recommend checking out the DJI over the GoPro, because 100% the battery life is better, the reliability of the battery is better, and I have never had any of my footage corrupt. All right, let's talk accessories. As I mentioned, my favorite DJI accessory is the ones that they manufacture themselves. You do have to buy these separate, but I will say, you know, accessories are neither here nor there, because tons of aftermarket companies make accessories for many of these cameras. But the number one accessory from the DJI that I absolutely love over GoPro, seriously over GoPro, this. It's kind of hard to tell what it is. This is a battery case. It magnetizes shut similar to your AirPods, but this shows you what batteries are charged, what need charged, and you can just plug a little USB-C in here and it charges them automatically. It's super easy to fit into pockets, carry this with you, and they don't go flying all over the place because the lid stays shut. GoPro, on the other hand, is still working with this incredibly archaic, messy, like these batteries fall out all the time when I carry them in my bags with me. It's very clunky. It's hard to zip my bags up, hard to fit this because it's like a brick. And I just don't like it. You can only charge 2 at a time. You have to buy extra batteries to do this, similar to this, but this is just so much sleeker and easier to travel with. So 100% recommend getting the little battery charger. If GoPro comes out with something like this, they just need to. Not even gonna talk about it. The next accessory, I literally just turned it on 100% out of the box, didn't read the instructions, but DJI makes this remote control. So you can actually wear this similar to an Apple Watch. Now I have it on my person. So the cool thing about this is obviously if you're filming any action shots where you have to like walk past the camera or ride past the camera, you can go set your camera up in a different location, walk away, and then press record. So I'm gonna press record right now. It's recording. You can see it on the back too, it's recording. So when I want to stop it recording, I just press stop, boom. Have a video, holy crap. Yeah, this is definitely staying on my motorcycle at all times. That's just gonna save you in the long run when you don't wanna film 1,000,000 gigabytes worth of footage because you have to run, set your camera up, press record, go back to pretending like you were doing something and then finish and go back and set up, you know, like all those vloggers. Yeah. This also charges via USB-C and super easy to turn off and on. So absolutely loving the idea of a remote control that you can wear. Less likely to lose it. Ask me how I know. All in all, when it comes down to both of these cameras side by side, I say they're pretty comparable. It really depends on what you want to use them for. Both of them are $399, and I preferred the quality of the Osmo Action 4. Slow-mo, I didn't really notice a huge difference. I thought both cameras captured slow-mo beautifully. I just have a really hard time telling you which one is better than the other, but I think in the comparison in this video, I'm left pretty disappointed with the GoPro 12. For being the 12th iteration of this camera, I don't know, man. I get it. The people who followed up the fame of the GoPros, they've had a lot more time to kind of like sit back and study and see what consumers are saying. And DJI hit the nail on the head when it comes down to paying attention to what people like us want and how to make it better. So the number one thing I need to do now with this camera is I need to fine tune my audio setups. Might need to try out some different microphones. I do have a couple different lav mics that I got from DJI, and well, I'd love to hear your guys' feedback also. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know which one you thought was better. Some of this footage was 4K, some of it was 1080p. I personally I think audio is the most important thing when you are storytelling, and I really enjoyed the audio straight out of camera, but when you plug in the external mics, that's when both of these things just get a little unreliable. And that's my biggest complaint. Let me know if you would like to see more tech comparisons like this. And I just hope you come back for the next one where we're gonna be riding motorcycles and hanging out together. Thank you so much for watching this video. And until the next one, you be good, and I'll see you later.